Today is going to be an exciting day. Look at all of these parts that we have laid out here. Can't believe it's time already, but we're going to start putting straight parts on the car. This 240 has been my main project for the past 7 years. Unfortunately, someone ran a red light and T-boned my car shortly after I completed it. This 240 was not only my daily driver, but also my drift car and also road trip car. I couldn't let this car go after all I've been through with it, so I decided to repair it. The reason I decided to repair it is because I wanted to turn this nightmare into a learning and growth opportunity. It was the option that felt right. This journey has been nothing but great. I've met so many awesome people along the way and have learned a tremendous amount already. My main hope is that these videos inspire each of you to believe you really can do anything. On each of my videos I attach a playlist that contains all the videos from the repair series. So the first thing I want to do today is line up this half cut onto the car. So right off the bat, I'm seeing an issue with this lining up. I like the way that the car is cut, which is under this panel right now, but I'm not too confident in this cut. What I want to do is go under the car and see where the cut lines are. So this is the chassis and this is the new half cut right here. So I'm just gonna draw a line straight up. That way I know when I take off the half cut where everything will line up. And then I can trim all the excess metal back as needed. Let's pull this thing off and see what our lines look like. So here's the line where it overlaps. So it looks like we have a lot of excess metal here. I want to kind of trim it back so we have about 1 inch of overlap. Alright, we got a clean cut here. But on this section here, I'm going to need to drill out the spot welds that hold on the floor pan. That way there's a nice mating surface on the car itself. Alright, we got the spot welds drilled out. And the reason I drilled the spot welds out on the floor pan is because we actually still need to use this floor pan on the car. There is no floor at all on the passenger side. Right here. The stud is still not sitting down all the way into the subframe, and that is because we are hitting right here and also right here. It's a little time consuming, but these fine details are what matter, and the more time I take measuring and trimming slowly, the better the quality of the car. So it doesn't bother me that it's taking so long, but you know, I'm just excited. I just want to start the welding process, you know, so it is what it is, but we'll keep grinding. It's getting there. It's starting to line up much better every time I trim a little piece off. I have to like manually push this over to sit on the correct mount here, but when it's pushed over like that, it looks perfect. Everything fits so nicely. Oh man, that's so exciting. Whew. For those of you who want to support, I do have merch available in the description. And additionally, there is a membership option. And you can also find more information about being a member in the description, or if you click the join button on the channel. Even if you can't join, no worries. A simple like and comment goes a long way. So thanks a lot, guys. The next thing I want to do is try and line up the firewall. So I'm gonna have to make some decisions here because firewall still has like the top portion of the frame rail, which would be useful for lining it up, you know, to make sure it's in the right position. But I don't know if I want to keep my frame rails intact. I don't know. We'll just have to line it up and see what it looks like, but I'm gonna have to prep some of these surfaces before I think about lining it up on the car. I'm gonna need to get this tab off still and just like clean up all these loose ends, you know. So it's not really fitting too flush on here. I think I need to cut off this lip. But man, even just setting it on top, that's pretty motivating. Oh man. That's so cool. And this is actually a Sylvia firewall, which luckily is the same as the 180SX. I drove 8 hours to Tennessee and met up with Richard, and he ended up giving me this firewall for free, which I'm so thankful for. That is looking good.
I didn't think it was gonna work. Dude. I was like, there's no way.
What the heck? I was starting to get worried. I did not think it was gonna fit. Look at this whole seat.
You could get more stuff on the way back.
So another huge shout out to Richard, thank you. So this is the lip that I'm gonna cut off, and I have already replaced this when I originally built my engine bay. So this metal here is actually thicker than the metal from the factory. With that being said, I'm not really too worried about like cutting this off and having to worry about aligning it again, because you know I already did it before. The cool part is now, since I've already done it once, the second time I think it'll be a lot easier to do. Plus now I can plan out how I want to do it even better. So this still isn't sitting too well. So what I think I'm gonna do is drill out the spot welds that hold in the frame rail to the firewall. Like along here. I'm gonna put some alignment marks here for the subframe studs. So when I cut off these frame rails here, it'll be easier to know where the midpoint of the subframe stud was. Just for lining it up. Doesn't hurt to have more reference points. That is really close. But on this side, I do need to trim a little bit off of this lip here. Here, this is like all supposed to be under the frame rail here, which I wanted to leave as like a lip so I can like weld them together a little easier, but I might just have to trim some of that off. It's lining up much better now. It's getting pretty close now. Oh yeah, it's looking close. Still need to trim a little more off of here. After taking this firewall off and on many times and making a bunch of different trims in certain places, I have finally gotten it to somewhat line up. This is the gap we're working with now, which is much less than before. Look at that. We'll have to work on this a little bit more, but overall this is coming along very nicely. Now I'm just eager to line this piece up with the firewall on the car, just to like visualize it. Also, I'm excited to see it, so I'm gonna throw that on there real quick. Alright, so this is just a rough mock-up, but check this out. Whoo! Oh my gosh. Now, not all of these are lined up perfectly right now because, you know, this isn't really the prettiest. If you guys remember one of the spot weld videos, I was shocked that this seam right here on the half cut unfolded in the first place, let alone being able to drill out all the spot welds. Looks like the previous owner of this S chassis has already hammered this in, which is one of the seams we need to drill out. So I was already anticipating this piece having to be pulled out because previous owner hammered it all the way in, so I wasn't really sure how far to pull it out. So we'll just hammer that back out. But overall, just looking at it, that is awesome. Should we put the trans tunnel on it too? Again, super rough mock-up. This is actually lined up perfectly to that side. So it looks like the width is correct. And we'll just have to like prep all this stuff to make it sit nice. But overall, what do you guys think? Is the vision starting to come together? So I'll just knock out some of this trimming, and then I'll have to start thinking about how I'm going to put the roof on this car. Any suggestions? So as you all have seen, we've been making some repairs on Franz 240.
Oh shit.
And we're filling up after a full tank of gas, and I'm curious to see how much the fuel economy has increased. According to my miles per gallon calculator, we drove 351 miles, 11.8 gallons, and that comes out to 29.5 miles to the gallon. That's insane. Who knew a 240 would be getting 30 miles to the gallon? That's good stuff. All right, Franzy, what are we working on today?
We're not working, we're camping.
I guess I wasn't fully aware, but relaxing mentally can be difficult. I find myself constantly thinking of what's next or how to improve things. Taking the time to set goals and plan ahead has been the biggest anxiety relief. Learning to control your thought process will change your life. Your mindset will 100% determine everything about you and your surroundings. Your mind can be a powerful tool. All you have to do is program it. Always remember this. If you can picture it in your mind, you can shape it in your life. So Omar just bought a new car.
Yep.
What'd you get?
No, it's locked.
Guess we're not gonna know.
Oh yeah. Holy bright.
Maz works.
That looks good.
This thing looks sick.
Yeah, this thing's crazy.
Dang. This thing looks cool.
Mazworks 2.2 liter SR stroker. I used to own this motor.
Really?
Yeah, I think, did I tell you that before?
No.
Yeah, I got this motor in a deal as a long block, still wrapped in plastic from Mazworks, and I sold it to this guy. And I also picked up this car for him all the way up in Maine.
You picked up this car for a customer too?
Yeah. I delivered him the car and I delivered him the motor at the same time. And yeah, he put it all together, and I told him, if you ever sell this car, hit me up first. And he followed through, so.
That's cool. Now you got it.
S13 dash link display unit. And it's got S15 carpet as well.
Really? I didn't know S15 carpet fits.
And it fits. It's a little short in the back actually.
Oh,
So-
it is? Yeah, it's a little short. But it looks good.
It does, right?
Wow.
And yeah, if you want to go for a ride.
Yeah, dude. What you mean? Of course I want to go for a ride. Dude, this thing is so crazy. I think this is actually the fastest car I've ever been in.
Really?
Yeah. Well, great purchase.
It always gets my heart pumping, dude.
For real. That was so fast. Oh, that's cool. A little hazard button there.
Yeah, that's the hazard button. And then he wired this hazard button off the S15 radio bezel to be the heat.
The heat?
Yeah, look, check this out. And then this is still the rear defrost. Yeah, this is the turn signals. It's super cool.
That's awesome. Got the fitment looking pretty fresh right here. All right, Omar, is your yard still growing random parts?
Always.
You think your yard's growing a bumper?
Let's go check. Oh, there she is. Front and center.
Woo! Yeah, if you guys ever need parts, just hit up Omar at Part It Out.
Yeah, I've been really busy lately, so
Oh, so don't hit him up.
I'll catch up with you guys. I got one more week of school.
Cool. I guess we'll slap this bad boy on there.
Let me get you.
Goodbye, dent. Thanks for the bumper, Omar.